Welcome to the Virtual Cafe podcast, where we tell stories that slap from people who have been through the mud but never collapsed. Today's guest is Dayvisson, the tech sales hacker, a record breaking seller at IBM and Microsoft, founder of Tech Sales Funnels, TEDx speaker, community builder, and soon to be author. He's helped countless tech sellers land high paying offers fast while building partnerships, raising a family, and inspiring others with his resilience and his vision. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's go.
What's up? How you doing, bro?
Good, man. I love the intro. You're raising the bar here for me, man.
It's only right, man. So I gotta ask you, man. First things first, I gotta ask you, what was it like growing up in Brazil? That's a vibe.
That's the first time someone asked me that on a podcast. Growing up in Brazil, man. Let's go. So I moved to United States. I was about 22. So yes, was born and raised in a place called Recife, Brazil, which was in the coast, right on the beach. I live in Dallas, Texas now, man. Every time we get to the coast, Houston or Florida, I just love it. Uh, so grew up on the beach. I'm a middle child of five, so my family was somewhat a big of a family. Um, love my parents. They just celebrated their 50th anniversary, like in February. So I took my older son to Brazil. I have a really blessed childhood, I would say. My dad grew up in the military. He was in the Air Force. So we were like kind of a middle class, lower middle class. You hear all the stories of third world countries, people not being able to eat, not have clean water, none of that. I didn't have, those problems. I was extremely blessed. I, of course, grew up playing soccer, traditional Brazilian. um, I was actually pretty good, man. Like people used to call me Pelé growing up,
Oh, yeah?
which it like, if you get, if people call you Pelé, you're probably somewhat okay. And I loved my childhood. I went to good schools. I was able to actually made all the way to college at the age of 17. So when I was 17, I graduated from college, from high school, and then started college right away. And and then after when I was 19, 20, I went to serve a mission for my church for about 2 years. And when I got back, right after I came to the United States, so it was literally half of my life growing up in Brazil. A beautiful place. If you don't know Brazil, man, I know everybody hear about soccer, everybody hear about Carnival, Amazon, and all that. But Brazil is huge. It's a big country. The food is amazing. We probably had some churrasco, some Brazilian steakhouses, and that's the food right there. It's amazing. Great place to check it out. And if you go to
Awesome.
Brazil, let me know because I know people everywhere, and I'll hook
Yeah,
you
I,
up.
I might have to take you up on that offer, man. Brazil's definitely on the list. So you leave Brazil at 22 years old, headed to America. What was the thinking behind that?
That's a good question. Some people, they're asking like, why are you leaving? Right? You were already in college. I was studying to be a civil engineer in Brazil. I had done college for 2 years. So growing up in Brazil, I always saw those people who actually came to America and got like this thing called MBA. I used to call NBA. I'm like gonna go to the NBA. I don't even, growing up, I was like, I want to get this MBA thing because a lot of people are getting that and they're coming back and they're like somewhat wealthy. They have good jobs and good careers. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna study English and someday I'm gonna get one of those MBAs. I'm gonna go to America. I'm gonna study, and that was just a dream. But since the age of 8, actually, I have been writing my goals, my dreams. I was just cleaning my garage. I found some journals. One of the leaders from my mission, he was American, and I was helping him as his assistant. So I was over 200 other volunteers, and I was training and doing workshops and then all sorts of stuff. And one day he sat down with me. He's like, "Hey, I know you're already in college in Brazil. We were in São Paulo, by the way, at that time. I know you're in college, but if you ever want to consider studying in America, I will sponsor you. He's like, I'll help you. I was like,
What?
sign me up. I
Yeah.
was like, sign me up. So as soon as I got home, I fill out all the papers. I was still learning English, so I had to apply to an English school first, and then apply to college, right? So 3 months I was at home. For 3 months I applied, I got accepted, and 3 months later I was out again. My mom wasn't very happy, but my parents were super supportive. And I was in the best college in my city, in my state, but they knew it was gonna be better coming here, and that's how everything started, man. I $200 in my pocket. My dad, I had no money. Like my dad had to split the ticket that like in 12 payments or something crazy. He
What?
was able to help me to come. But then once I got here, then my sponsor, yes, of course, he took care of the college's tuition. But then I had to work. I had to work to pay for everything else, and then I just start hustling from the beginning. But work as an international student, you can only work on campus, and you cannot make much money on campus. Like cleaning bathrooms, man, for like the first 2 years, waking up at 4 or 5 a.m., working on campus, and then going to classes and like, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was I was determined to make it happen, and I made my way here.
Yeah, you clearly had the American dream in mind, you know?
Yeah,
So
the
when you got here, you said you're in Texas now, but you did were you initially in Texas when you got here?
no, so I went to study English in actually Provo, Utah, BYU, Brigham Young University. A lot of people know the Cougars, but then from there, I decided to apply for different colleges. I actually got accepted in on the other campus of BYU, which is BYU Idaho, which almost nobody knows about it. Nobody even knows what's in Idaho. Sometimes people just talk about potatoes. You know, the McDonald potatoes come from Idaho, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I end up in Idaho, man. Super cold, coming from tropical weather, Brazil, hot, humid like Texas, and then all the way to Idaho, freezing cold. But I had a blast. It was like I was living the dream. I was like, I didn't care if that was cold. I didn't care if it was Idaho. For me, I was just living the dream. I was like, I was in America. I was super happy. I didn't care.
That's so interesting, right? Because like so many people um your story is almost similar to like Abraham in the Bible. You had to leave the land of the familiar, right?
Mm,
And so many people get stuck in that land of the familiar where they don't um the thing that's stopping them from progressing to the next level is that familiarity. So the fact that you were able to identify that and jump at such a young age is kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. That's
yeah, I look back, man. I look back. If I look at my friends in Brazil, no, it's not that I'm like, hey, I'm special, none of that. But yeah, a lot of them, they're still in the same place, right? Or they're still doing the same thing. Some are like maybe in jail, others are even dead. Yeah, I had to leave my comfort zone. Of course, it was super hard at first. Even like the very first weeks, it felt like a prison because I didn't know almost anyone. I didn't have a job. I wasn't studying. I had to wait for like 2 months until school started. Then I couldn't speak the language. Like I knew the basic stuff. Like here in America, you go to high school and then you learn Spanish, right? So I knew that basic, the foundation, but I was still learning the language.
I've always heard that English is like the hardest language to learn because it's the language of deception. It's a language of power, right? Learning it though, how long did it take you before you started to feel native?
Man, okay, so since I didn't have a whole lot to do, I was just studying day and night, right? So I had here, I found it. It's like I got a notebook. In one side, I put a line on the middle, like a white page. In one side, I wrote down a bunch of phrases in Portuguese, whatever I could think about. Give me more money, or where's the bathroom? I'm hungry, whatever. Like a whole bunch of sentences. And then I started writing everything in English, like, oh, this is how you say in English, this is how you say in English, this is how you say. And
Yeah.
then on the underneath, I would say this is how you would pronounce, because sometimes, like you said, in English it can be like you read, you see something, but the pronunciation is completely different. So man, I just went down. I have pages and pages of expressions and phrases that I literally memorized stuff, and I was just practicing. A lot of times, Americans they talk so fast. Maybe now I'm talking so fast I don't even realize. But I was capturing phrases here and there. And I was reading a lot because when you read, it sticks to your subconscious mind. And then sometimes I would just speak words that I was like, oh, where this came from? Like it was just reading. And then it took about like 4 or 5 months until I got to college. Yes. So every international student, I'm pretty sure it's still the same. They have to take a test, an English test called the TOEFL. And then there's some scores that you have to reach in order to be accepted in America, right? And I was studying so hard that there's a level for college and there's a level for master's degree. My score was actually at the master degree level when
Really?
I got accepted in college. Yeah, so I got accepted in a bunch of schools, and then I decided to go to BYU, Idaho. I had a friend that lived there, and then he invited me to come and stay with his family. They literally, man, that was a huge blessing. They literally gave me a bedroom, a car, and I had like full food, like everything. Like they took me as a child of the family, so I was able to live with them for the. I got full scholarship after because of my grades, and I was always studying. So I pretty much my sponsor had he still had to pay some stuff for me, but I kind of found my way because I wasn't having expenses. I was working, getting scholarships, so I graduated like debt free, everything, and I had an amazing experience in college. But it took me about 5 6 months to get started. And
I
of
love
course,
that.
I'm still learning English. The other day, I learned a new language. Like I have a partner out of UK, and he dropped me this I can't even remember what the word is, and I'm still learning. Like it's an ongoing process, but in order to communicate and understand, that was about it at the time.
UK English and American English is two different ball games, man. My company that I work for right now, they're based out of the UK, and I'm like
Oh, really?
completely, what?
It's like good point. It's like Portuguese in Portugal. From Portugal,
Yeah,
the motherland, they have a lot of words that I don't even understand. It's still Portuguese, but
yeah, for sure. It appears as if you had an anointing on you, man. First, you have this, this person who's willing to sponsor you. Then you have this friend whose family takes you in. You get a room, a car. That's such a blessing, man. So dope. So, at what point did you break into tech sales? Like you got into tech sales with pretty much zero experience, right?
yeah. So I got into tech sales after my MBA. So I went to college. Did the 4 years degree. I started working. My first job was customer service, and I was taking orders over the phone and Portuguese, English, and Spanish because I learned
Mm.
Spanish in college too. So también hablo español, puedo entender. So I was taking like calls and selling in Spanish, and then I went to work for Walgreens. I was a store manager for like 4 years, and then that was where my management kind of skills came about. Got a lot of experience on that customer service and all that. And then I got my MBA. I tried to open a business, and then after that, I worked for New York Life for about 2 years. Entrepreneurial from the beginning, and so I tried to do my own business, build my own portfolio.
I sold life insurance too, man. It's not easy.
100% commission, right? The hustle is real.
And they
And
want you to
then,
call every one of your friends and family members.
yeah,
Bro.
I was actually like getting awards, like doing fairly well. But then some months I'll make a lot, some months I'll make nothing. Then I had 2 kids. I was always gone, like doing network events and coming home late. And my wife was like, like you're always gone. And I see you love what you do, but some months we don't even know how much we're gonna get paid. So I felt like I was bringing a lot of stress to my family. And then I was like, you know what? I just need to find something more stable that I can provide. And that's when tech sales came, right? So I did sales most of my life, and then also in college, every single summer, I went to knock doors. I was like, I'm gonna go to any industry. I'm gonna go to technology because that's where it should be. And then I started applying like crazy. And got into IBM, right? So that's my first experience in tech sales, big tech,
Hmm.
IBM. Man, first day I was drinking from fire hose. Like the girl that I was replacing, she trained me for a day. The next day she was gone, and then I was like, my gosh, this is it. And then that's how I got introduced to tech sales. And I was there for 5 years at IBM. It was a great experience. Good people, good management. Had a great time.
How much different is the tech sales landscape now from when you actually joined?
Man, there was no AI at the time. I think it was in 2000, what, 2014, no, 2016. I started IBM, I think. No, there was, the cool thing about that time, it was like the cloud was hot. It was like not the beginning of the cloud, because the beginning of the cloud was like 2000, I think, 6 with AWS, Amazon, and all that. But I was a solution specialist for the cloud. So I was selling the cloud with that. Basically, I was getting customers to go from on-prem old stuff and then migrate to the cloud. So what was different? A lot of those startups in tech organizations and businesses, they usually would start on-prem, and this whole like cloud of native, like all those SaaS solutions, it was just kind of the not the beginning, but then it wasn't as hot. Right now, everything's just you're born on the cloud, you build everything on the cloud. Uh, but 10 years ago, 10 years, yeah, about 10 years ago, it wasn't like that. Right now, all those SaaS solutions, all those AI solutions, everything's already born on the cloud.
Yeah.
Before it was more like a hybrid. So I was helping, most of my job was helping people to migrate from on-prem to the cloud. So I was out selling like, hey, this is the benefit, this is where it should be, this is the future, all that kind of stuff. There was no AI. By the way, oh my gosh, like one of the solutions that I sold was actually the chat bot that we have.
Mhm.
I swear, it would take literally 2 3 years training the bot that, sell to the clients and they have to implement, 2 3 years to do what we can do now in 30 seconds, man. I swear, like,
Insane.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I guess that's the most interesting thing to me, right? Especially when I looked at your LinkedIn, because I know that that's pretty much what you do, right? You help people get into tech, you help people get high paying roles, right? So how much more difficult do you think it is nowadays? Because I got into tech sales in like 2022, so I'm still relatively new. Like
Three
I'm
years, yeah.
3 years in. How how much harder is it now because of AI, because of the oversaturation of the market? It's like almost like after after COVID, everyone found out about tech sales and everyone was on it. People were making crazy amounts of money during COVID. Like how challenging is it now to get in?
That's a good question. So because we are in tech sales, because you are in tech sales, we feel like everybody kind of knows about tech sales. But you would be surprised how many people don't even understand what that is. Like, hey, tech sales completely changed my life. Like, I was able to provide for my family, bring that stability, double, triple my income, buy my home, and all the stuff that I was able to do financially. So it changed my life. But a lot of people don't know what tech sales is. Uh, So I still feel first. I still feel there's a like, huge field of opportunities, especially for the young generation who's trying to figure out what to do. And as they try to figure out what to do, learn how to sell. Of course, at the same time, there is I wouldn't say higher competition, but more people know about the opportunity. And I think it's getting a little bit saturated on the big tech. Honestly, like Microsoft, IBM, because when people think about tech sales, they think about those big names, right? But if you think about how the hundreds and thousands of AI solutions that are being created, I checked the other day, just in the United States from last year, there was 1,500 AI startups created. We're not talking about like little projects. We're talking about like real funded solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you think about that, when they get all those funding and they have to get to go to market with all the solutions, who's going to take this solution to the sales team, right? The
Yeah.
sales team is so there's all those organizations. They need to hire a sales team. They have to.
Yeah.
That's what is the livelihoods, the blood of every organization is sales. So there's a huge opportunity with all those small, medium unicorn startups that's being overlooked. Now, there is another field that I feel like almost nobody's tapping it just because of lack of understanding. I didn't know before joining tech sales, and even after I started to discover is the partner ecosystem. Every big tech has this, like Microsoft. I would say there's thousands and thousands of partners who just helps to implement Microsoft technology and enable on the customer side, and they also need people to work for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so a lot of times we're thinking about, oh, I want to work for Microsoft, but then how about the Microsoft partner ecosystem? They're also hiring, so there's all these opportunities on the partner ecosystem that a lot of people don't even heard of it, don't even know they existed. Like yesterday, I was recording a podcast, and this Eva, her name, she actually works with those partners,
Mm.
and she was in marketing, and when she joined that partner ecosystem, she don't even knew they existed also.
Mm.
So there's huge opportunities. I feel like what most exciting for me about technology, tech sales, is that is a never ending opportunity to learn something new. So that's my number one requirement for any job, any opportunity that I tap into it is the opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
I'm very optimistic, of course, because
Yeah.
I'm helping people, and then they come to me and they said, "Can I do the tech sales?" Now, if you had never sold before, if you never sold before, if you don't have those big numbers in your resume, it's gonna be a little bit tricky to get into the big techs. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be very challenging. Maybe I got lucky, or I was blessed because I spoke 3 languages, and they needed a trilingual seller. That was my entry door. So you gotta find a niche. You gotta find what makes you different,
Mm-hmm.
and then you gotta be able to sell yourself. Because during the interview, I totally bombed it. I didn't know almost anything about what they asked me, but I said I can learn this thing quickly, and that's how I sold myself to IBM. But if you don't know, you can learn. And by the way, all those tech organizations, they know that you don't know the technology yet. They know that they have to
Exactly.
train you, so they're willing to spend money, thousands of dollars, to actually ramp you. It's up to you to be proactive and and go after, right? So, and especially the startups, like they're super new. They don't expect you to know the solution. They're just gonna train you.
Yeah, I think having the exposure that I've had, um, because I've started at the SDR level and I've sold into SMB, mid-market, and enterprise, which are three completely different. Anybody who's watching this,
Right.
those are three completely different beasts.
Yes.
SMB, mid-market, and enterprise. And for different organizations, they're different things. But what I feel like specifically after what you've said, and it's a conversation I've had very recently, because of AI and the challenge, it presents an opportunity and a challenge, which they always come together, right? Challenges are just opportunities, right? But the idea that there are so many other AI startups that come out of nowhere, if you do have a great product that you're selling, and you're speaking to someone who's at an enterprise, like you're speaking to someone at an enterprise level, you're speaking to a C-suite, you're speaking to a VP, a director, they're being bombarded by so many other people because of the
Mm.
fact that there are so many other solutions that come about. So that's the biggest thing. The biggest challenge is differentiating yourself and really capturing and retaining attention in this market, you know?
Yeah, there's I like I'll give my own experience. Like as I'm building my own business, like I mean, every single day I see a new solution. Every single day there's people trying to sell me something that is gonna optimize my sales process. That's gonna optimize this and that. I'm like, man, if you don't make time to at least dive deeper into one and actually apply, then I was gonna be scraping the surface of everything and not doing really anything. Just
Yeah.
it's just crazy. It's just a lot. It's very
How
fast.
how do you believe someone differentiates themselves in this climate?
As a seller.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. So it's funny that you say that. So a few months ago, I created something called Dayvisson GPT. I'm gonna put my name and I'm gonna put the GPT after. I bought the domain davissongpt.com. I'm like, I'm gonna go. I create like a little logo. I kind of joke with people like this, like at this age and time, when the new generation might not even know who's real, who's not, if it's AI or if it's a real person. The only way for you to differentiate yourself on this whole world is just again niche and who you really are, like your true like self. It might be cheesy or whatever, but you are the niche. If you don't take the time to build your personal digital brand or your story, because we're all different, right? It doesn't matter if you're doing sales, if you're a doctor. I don't know if everyone's gonna have a podcast, but almost everyone's gonna have to find a way to to tell the story, to build their own communities. This is the GPT right here, right? Like, it's my own personal life story. There's nobody like me, nobody in the world like me that lived the same experiences that I lived with the same parents, with the same background. We talked about my background with the same tech sales experience. I bring a uniqueness that nobody else can give. One of the biggest things that I do as a coach is just help people bring that alive because
Mhm.
sometimes it's just dormant. And then they're applying for jobs and they're getting ghosted and they don't know why. Or it's just that a lot of times there's three areas that I coach people. It's very simple. Sounds simple, but it's not. It's strategy, it's visibility, and communication. If you think about a triangle, um, so the visibility piece is very, very important. A resume can help increase visibility. The LinkedIn profile can help increase visibility. Telling your story can help increase visibility. Networking properly can help increase visibility. So you have to double down on visibility. It is what it is. A lot of people talk about, oh, I don't like this whole social media thing. I'm an introvert and all that. In reality, there's a lot of insecurity. There's a lack of understanding, maybe, of how powerful this can be
Mhm.
to your own organization that you're selling, to your product that you're selling, to your own personal life, right?
You know what? This is something I genuinely am incredibly passionate about. I think no matter what you do, you should have a camera showing everything you're doing.
Right?
Like, if you're not creating content in 2025, I don't care if you're in marketing, I don't care if you're in tech sales, I don't care what you're doing. The AI, we're at war. I'll just tell you like that straight up. So pretty much it is create content, build a personal brand, or starve.
Yeah. It's so interesting because I'll give an example. So I have kids, right? And my wife's so stressed about social media and all that stuff because there's so much garbage, right? Whatever goes to your brain, does it differentiate, it grows, right? So man, it's so tricky, but at the same time, like there's no way around it. So in college, maybe the class in college, attention 101,
Yeah.
you might not even to study math anymore. I Don't quote me on that. People might be thinking I'm crazy, but when was the last time we picked up a calculator? Like when was the last time I was studying to be a civil engineer, and back in the days, dude, you guys do stuff on the paper. A lot of the stuff that we used to do in the past is gonna be obsolete. Like
Yeah.
this is the new ABC, right? So we gotta have to learn these ABC. So it's gonna be like Nation 101, how to protect your social media intake 202, how to build a podcast, whatever, like all those things. Everyone, man. I was just in the farmer's market the other day, and this guy he was a personal trainer, and then he was selling nuts, right? It was super nice product. He was super excited. And he's like, I'm doing this for 10 years, but I can't grow. It's really hard to scale and all that. And I was like, you know, the only way you can scale your business, maybe he thought I was crazy because I was giving him advice. I was just walking by. I was like, the only way for you to scale your business is that you get a camera, you start teaching other personal trainers to create a product and sell on a market street, right? And then you come here every Saturday, instead of like actually selling this thing, just make videos, open a bag, like give some nuts to your customer and record like, hey, what do you like about it? Oh, this actually came from Brazil. They call the Brazil nuts, but you gotta be like on social media. Man, sell the stuff online every week just to build content. Don't worry about selling. You're gonna be selling, scaling online.
I wish more people knew is like their personal unique story is their product. It's packageable. You can distribute it. You can sell your story. You know, because you're on LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn, and we're making it a habit to like build our personal brand and continue to build and grow. You might have put out a post and it wasn't doing well or whatever the case was. And then you're second guessing, you're doubting yourself. Should I be doing this? What? No one's paying attention. Does it matter? Until you start hearing your friends and your family members like, can you believe I was doing laundry and I was going through Instagram, I was going through TikTok, I was going through LinkedIn, and then you just popped up? Like, whatever you're doing, keep on doing it. Like, this is the way it works, you know? It's like
Funny you
that.
say that.
Those actors that you used to see on TV, there's no such thing as a celebrity anymore. You are the star. Like, you have the ability to create a personal brand and really give people that story because no one has your same exact story.
And I want to kind of challenge the common theme, like find a niche, carve your niche. In reality, you are the niche.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to carve yourself out
Yeah.
so yourself can come up, and then the niche is gonna come to you instead of you trying to find, you know, something that you feel like is gonna be something that's gonna work. I'll give an example, right? So someone that I know reached out to me last week and then like, hey Dave, so I like what you're doing. I'm writing a book and I'm gonna speak in a TEDx. That's cool. I want to speak in a TEDx. I have no social media. Like, can you help me? I'm like, whoa, okay, hold on. And I said, no, I'll pay for it. Like, okay, hold on. Um, this is not what I'm doing right now. But then he's like, whoa, build an offer. He told me like, tell me how much you want and help me out. I was thinking about that. I was like, I'm not even on the business of even helping people build a personal brand yet. I have these thoughts in helping,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not doing that right now. But they just came to me, like
Yeah.
just because I'm doing something that I like. And here's the thing, too. Here's the thing. Why people hesitate? Why people hesitate? Right? There's multiple reasons, right? Sometimes it's their own personality, their own insecurity, fear of looking stupid or looking bad, or this is not gonna work. I'm not gonna get likes. Guess what? Almost every single client that I have had so far in my business, they never liked one of my posts. I never seen them. They never commented, and then they just come to me like, Daveson, I've been following you for like 6 months. Daveson, someone told me about you. They saw you. They told me to check you out. Who was it? Like, and they dropped the name. I was like, I don't even know who this person is. It just happened. Like, go figure. Like, do you want the likes, or do you want to share your message, or do you want to be yourself, or do you want to build your business, and then you want to serve others? Do it with for the right reasons, and then you won't even worry about it. So when I started this whole social media thing and building more content on LinkedIn, I told my wife, I was like, I don't care if one shows up. I don't care if 100 shows up. I'm here for the one. And if nobody shows up, I'm recording because my son might watch me like 10 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
and he might be like, oh, that's my dad, right? This
Digital
is my dad
footprint.
right there. He was hustling 10 years ago, and I think about Mr. Beast guy. He's about to release his video that he recorded. Like, I want to watch this in 10 years. He did 2 videos. He recorded one for 5 years that it's like has millions of views, and then he's about to release, I think, the one that he recorded to see in 10 years. He's way, way past his goals. But he was just like, "Hey, I'm just here, man. I'm trying my thing here, and I don't even know if I'm gonna be alive in 10 years." And he just kind of like
Yeah.
out,
What talk to me about this this TEDx that's coming up.
Oh man, so yeah, the TEDx. This was actually a dream that I had. So for the first time I heard about TEDx, I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Those people are like just talking, cool stories, cool messaging, and then I'm like, someday I'm gonna speak on one of those." And then, but then like I started visualizing and thinking more about it, and then and then I was like, "Okay, enough of visualization. Let's get to action." You know, I started researching, and then I found Irena. Maybe yeah, she just
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Urena. Shout out
see,
Urena.
let's go.
Let's go. We love you,
She's
Urena.
the best. And she's like, they used to do this and this and this and that. Like, she basically gave me like the short version of the blueprint of how to do it, and then I just went after. Like I literally like I mapped. I can summarize here. I mapped all the 10x in the entire country, not even just Texas, the entire country. And I started reaching out to almost all of them on LinkedIn and connect to a bunch of people. But I kept in touch with her because I on LinkedIn. Look at this on LinkedIn. There was a recruiter, Shanae, who went to the TEDx and she posted about her TEDx and she tagged Irina. I was like, I'm gonna contact, I'm
Yeah.
gonna connect with Irina. So that's when I reached out to her. I was like, hey, I saw that you helped Shanae and all that, and that's how everything started. Look, I've been LinkedIn since the beginning of times, like literally since 2000. I was in college, man, 2004. Can't remember when LinkedIn came out. Every job that I have had, every network connection, like partnerships, my partners now for my nonprofit, for my business, everything, man, it's just LinkedIn. Just
Yeah,
learning how to leverage
I
this.
don't get how people still like no Davis, you see it. There's
Oh, I
people
met you, man. It was LinkedIn.
there's people who are in listen, whoever's watching this, you most likely might have not started it your personal brand. Starting a personal brand in 2025 is like buying Bitcoin in 2010 on LinkedIn. It right now is the time. There are CMOs, CXOs, there are VPs, directors who don't have a banner up. It's insane. And Davidson's telling you right now, he got a TEDx through LinkedIn. We're on this podcast together. There's so many opportunities that are popping up from LinkedIn. Like I don't get it.
It's
I don't get
goldmine, man. I have like a little man. People are stepping on it, and they don't even realize
it. The gold mine.
it's like it's so visible. And they say what 1, 2, 3% of people are actually posting. I have so many ideas, man. If I could stay out, I'll be posting way more. I'm like I refrain myself to not posting way too much. But even if you don't want to post, just like follow people, comment in people's posts, or like it's not only to find jobs, man. Like again, like I found my best friends that I have now through LinkedIn, man, and my mentors, my coaches, everything.
Same here. Same here. Get off of Instagram. Get off of TikTok. Those you're in let's be serious. You guys are in the comment section laughing. Ah ha ha ha. LinkedIn, you go in those comment sections, you might get you a nice connection with somebody off of offering value, off of learning, this is like this it's important to definitely spend more time on LinkedIn than you are on the other platforms producing. You can either be
Yeah,
a producer
producing.
or you can be a consumer, but you can't be both, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions about social media in general, LinkedIn, and it's just learning how to leverage to your own benefit. I probably use maybe 50. yeah, I don't even 6% of the capability, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm still learning, a lot, so I can teach my clients and all that. But I can't tell you how many amazing people I have met through LinkedIn, and yeah, it's been awesome. If there's one thing everybody forgets about this conversation, just remember how to leverage LinkedIn to your own benefit. No, doesn't matter what you're doing, man. It
Doesn't
doesn't
matter
matter if
what
you're
you do.
selling. Doesn't matter if you're.
I told the kid, listen, I got a kid that I was playing ball with the other day. Kid's like 20, I think he's like 25 years old. He sells jewelry. I'm like, bro, you need to make a LinkedIn and post your jewelry content. Like, I don't care what content you make. Like, the thing is this, right? Like you said, less than 2% of 1 billion users on LinkedIn post once a day. So the, the barrier for entry and the spend per user is higher on LinkedIn than any other platform. So you have this platform that's full of consumers, is looking for producers, and people have money to spend.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And if yeah, man, like you gotta leverage the
So
opportunity.
so tell me about your book that you're writing. 'Cause I saw the one post that
And
you're working on a book.
can I talk about my book? Maybe. Hold on for just 1 second.
Okay, for sure.
Okay, bro. This is before ChatGPT existed. Okay, this
Yeah.
is original stuff. I'm not. So I have been putting this together for years, man. See my problem. I have way too many ideas, and it's just hard to focus. Today I wake up at 3. I'm like, I was gonna sit down for like before I go to the gym for 2 hours just to kind of clean up my head, and because it's just too much, man. It's just too much. So yes, I'm writing a book. It's a personal development, right? It's personal development. I'm trying to get kind of blend a flavor of job search and all that, but because I don't want to be the job search strategist, the coach that teach you a bunch of tools. I want to be principle based. So whatever I want to teach people is just evergreen. It was used from the beginning of times. It can be used now, and it's going to be used, in the future. So I'm putting together all those stuff. Some stuff is it literally came on a dream from revelation. Other stuff is just like a learning on the ground. I'm not reinventing the wheel. It's just I'm just putting together my own methodology,
Mhm.
so I can teach people how to. And I don't know if I should tell the name and review it right now because
Don't give away too much. Don't give
I'm
away
still
too
trying to
much.
figure out. The idea is just help people. You never go to point A and point B and then you're done. Is you're always reinventing yourself. Once you get to point B, and then that B becomes A, then you have to go to B again. I left Brazil because I felt like I was trapped. The college, I didn't really liked it. I felt I could be on the military. I wasn't. My high school was a military high school, so I could be an officer and could be actually retired by now, man. But then I was like, nah, that's not what I want. So all of us goes through those phases, like something else out there, and then how do you make that pivot, that move to reset yourself? And that's kind of what I'm going towards it, but in a systematic way where people can actually like, okay, it's not like about, oh, I need to get better, or I need to get a better job, or how do you do that? How do you actually start? How do you is strategy. It's very like how to basically strategize your life. Everything that I set up in my life when I was younger, that all the goals that I set up, uh, I want to, college degree, get a master's degree, get married. I'm married for 18 years. Gotta have a family, have 4 kids, right? I want to have a house. I want to have a good job. All this stuff is like all done, right? So I was like, all right, check, 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 right? So I'm like, okay. So we all go through those phases. Also, what's next, right?
Mhm.
Like when you level, how do you level up? Ed Milet, he uses a term called this guy he's really cool.
Max out
Max
your
out.
life. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah, he's cool. I've been in a ClickFunnels conference, and he was speaking there. And then He said something about blissful dissatisfaction. It's
Mm.
not like you're ungrateful, or it's not like you're like unhappy. It's not like you're blissful. I'm super grateful for what for all the things I have achieved. But for me, it's just like just it's almost like it's just the beginning. It's like I'm dissatisfied. Blissful dissatisfaction. That's the term that he uses, and I like that a lot because I believe that like we are like an eternal progression in
Mhm.
this life, and we always have to go to the next level. And so I'm putting my TEDx talk kind of around that, a little bit more specific, so people like can actually remember what I said. I want to talk about my frameworks that I'm kind of developing, and have the book kind of come up. I'm also putting like a speaker page where I'm gonna start speaking, getting more speaking engagements, and talk about different things, talking about how we can be a niche, right? Talking about how to build, your own personal brand. There's a lot of people who are trying to do their own thing, and sometimes they don't know where to start. I can talk about, immigration, education. I mean, I'm the typical underdog. Like I can go in so many directions, and try to inspire and help people. So I need to be more in front of the people, and then that's my biggest vision. Is just like my theme in life is live to serve, serve to live.
Mhm.
Right. So it's like we're here on earth to serve, and if you're not serve, you're not living. If you're unhappy and with your life, just find a way to serve. It's just get out of yourself. So I want to get out. I want to be able to inspire more people and help to realize how blessed they are.
Dayvisson, thank you so much for dropping the wisdom and sharing your journey with us today. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to like, subscribe, and send it to someone who needs to hear it. Until then, stay blessed and highly caffeinated.